Hello, this is Story Time with Elvin. Today we are reading Goldilocks and the Three Bears, retold and illustrated by Jan Bret. Once upon a time, there was three bears who lived together in a house on their own in a wood. One of the bears was little small wee bear, and one was a medium-sized bear, and other was great huge bear. They each had a bowl for their porridge, a little bowl for little small wee bear, a medium-sized bowl for middle-sized bear, and a great huge bowl for a great huge bear. And they each had a chair to sit on, a little chair for little small wee bear, a medium-sized chair for middle-sized bear, and a great huge chair for great huge bear. And they each had a bed to sleep in, little bed for little small wee bear, a medium-sized bed for middle-sized bear, and a great huge bed for great big huge bear. One day, after they made their porridge for breakfast and poured it into the porridge bowl, they walked out into the wood while the porridge was cooling. And when they were walking, a little girl named Goldilocks came to their house. First, she looked into the window, then she peeped at the keyhole, and seeing no one was home, she lifted the hatch. The door opened before her, and in she went. How pleased Goldilocks was when she saw steaming porridge on the table. The sweet smell of porridge filled with roast nuts, honey, and berries filled the room. It was so tempting. Goldilocks set about helping herself. First, she tasted the porridge of the great huge bear, but it was too hot. Then she tasted the medium-sized bowl for a middle-sized bear, but it was too cold. Then she tried porridge of the little small wee bear. It was neither too hot and neither too cold. It was just right. She liked it so much that she ate it all up. Goldilocks sat down in the chair of great huge bear, but it was too hard for her. Then she sat down on the chair of the middle-sized bear, but it was too soft for her. And then she sat down on the chair for a little small wee bear, and the chair was neither too hard nor too soft, but just right. So Goldilocks seated herself in it, and there she sat until the bottom of the chair gave way, and down she came, onto the floor. Then Goldilocks went upstairs to the bedroom in which the three bears slept. She lay down upon the bed of the great huge bear, but it was too high at the head for her. Next, she lay down upon the bed of middle-sized bear. It was too high of feet for her. Then she lay down upon the bed for the little small wee bear. That was neither too high at the head or foot, but just right. So she covered herself up comfortably and fell fast asleep. By the time the three bears thought their porridge would have cooled enough to eat, so they returned home for breakfast. Now Goldilocks had left a spoon of the great big bear standing in the porridge. "Somebody's been eating my porridge," said the great huge bear with a great rough voice. Then when the middle-sized bear looked at her, she saw that her spoon was standing in it too. "Somebody's been eating my porridge," said the middle-sized bear in a middle voice. Then little small wee bear looked at the bowl and the spoon of the porridge, but the porridge was all gone. "Somebody's been eating my porridge, and I was eating it all up," said the little small wee bear in his little small wee voice. Upon this, the three bears, seeing someone has entered the house and eaten up little small wee bear's breakfast, began to look about them. Now Goldilocks had not been put the hard cushion straight when she rose from the chair of the great huge bear. Somebody has been sitting in my chair, said the great huge bear in his great rough voice. And Goldilocks had crumpled the soft cushion of the medium-sized bear. Somebody's been sitting in my chair, said the middle-sized bear in a middle voice. And you know what? Goldilocks head down to the third chair. Somebody's been sitting in my chair, and I sat to the bottom of it, said the little wee small wee bear in his little small wee voice. Then the bears thought it was necessary that they should make further search, so they went upstairs to the bedroom. Now Goldilocks had pulled the pillows of the great huge bear out of place. Someone's been lying in my bed, he said the great huge bear in his great rough gruff voice. And Goldilocks pulled the covers of the middle-sized bear out of place. Someone's been lying in my bed, said the middle-sized bear in a middle voice. And when the little small wee bear came to look at his bed, there was Goldilocks sleeping peacefully. Her long shiny braids spread across his pillow. Little small wee bear just stared at her for a moment and didn't say anything. But then he cried, "Someone's been lying in my bed, and here she is." Goldilocks had heard in her sleep the great rough voice of the great huge bear and the middle voice of the middle bear, but only as if she heard someone speaking in a dream. But when she heard the little small wee voice of little small bear, it was so sharp and so shrill, like her own, that it wakened her at once. Up she started when she saw the three bears on the one side of the bed, tumbled himself off the other, and ran to the window. Out Goldilocks jumped and ran as fast as she could run, not looking behind her until she was very far away. And what happened to Goldilocks afterwards, no one could tell. But the three bears never saw her again. The end. Story time with Elvin, and this was Goldilocks and the Three Bears. Please like, subscribe, share, and comment for more. And come back next time. Goodbye.